Hi, I'm Jared Hoyman with VisibleTour.com, and today I'm going to bring you inside the candy shop. Oh, what's the candy shop? I'm glad you asked. The candy shop is DaVinci Resolve Studio. It's amazing. It's full of jelly bellies and jelly beans and licorice and chocolate. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's laid out gorgeous for everybody just to devour it. What's that? Oh, what's Premiere Pro? Well, Premiere Pro is the sweatshop. It's a horrible place. It drags you down. You work too hard. You get no gratification out of it. I spent all the last 17 years at the sweatshop, and now I'm at the candy shop, and I'm happy. And I just want you to be happy too. I want you to leave Premiere Pro. I want you to come over and enjoy the candy. So we're gonna have a sugar rush, maybe a little diabetes, and it'll give you a nice taste of what you might be missing if you're coming from the sweatshop. So without any more, gibberish and sugar rush from me, let's go get more of a sugar rush and get inside the candy shop of DaVinci Resolve Studio. We are in DaVinci Resolve Studio right now, and the first tab is media. So you've got media, you got cut. So obviously media, you drag in all your media. Cut, you can actually drag in all your media under the cut. Under the edit, you can drag in all your media there as well. So I skip media, I skip cut, I start right at the edit. And this is the edit screen here. And so if we were to bring in some media right away, let's bring in this one right here, this clip. And then if you hold down Alt and then scroll wheel, we can zoom into the timeline a little bit more. And then here is the combing right through this clip right here. So this is where I start. You can start anywhere. The cut, I find it unnecessary because I can do all my cutting under the edit tab. Plus you've got everything you need right here as well. So here's the effects. So effects are on, turn them off, turn them on, and then you can do a search. So you can look through filters, you can go to video transitions, and there's a lot. I find this a lot more intuitive than Premiere Pro. Also the transitions for audio, you got titles. Titles in Premiere Pro usually render pretty slow for me at least, and I find titles here seem to go pretty good. So if I were to hit spacebar, there's the title. I just find it a lot more intuitive. And so then on the right side, you can edit the clips. You've got the clip here, or you've got the title clip, and you can change the title name. So we'll just say, it says what, clean and simple. We'll say Visible Tour. And if we go down to the next one, Jared's awesomeness. I don't even know if that's real. That's how I spell awesomeness. So it's just that easy to work with those titles right there. Okay, so you've got those choices there. Again, the layout is very, very simple, and I like it. And the GUI, the graphics interface, is really honestly appealing to look at, where I find Premiere Pro just very choppy looking. The icons are just, some of them are just too small, and then you're always searching for them. Everything you need here is out and about, and you don't have to rearrange it. It just works, almost like a Mac. I don't own a Mac, but Macs just work. PCs, you could screw them up. So this is the edit tab. The next one is going to be Fusion. Now, Fusion is like the After Effects of Premiere Pro. So this is the After Effects of DaVinci Resolve. So all your special effects are here. You work with nodes. So if you think of this as the end and this is the beginning. So let's click on this clip right here. And so it shows up there. And then if we wanted to do one of these options, let's go to special effects. So there's actually a dehaze. Never used it. So here's the dehaze setting. There's the strength over here. So I go from edit to color. So color correcting. Let's get rid of this. Delete it. We'll go back to color. All right. So in the color tab, I start with curves right here. Now you can create nodes and I eventually will start doing that in the future. Right now, I edit as if I'm in Premiere Pro, and that's where I start with the curve. So there's the curve here, start in the middle. We'll get shadows, so a little contrast there, and then we'll bring in highlights. The cool thing is you can see it all here under the scopes. Let's actually fast forward, or actually let's go back a little bit, because I'd rather see more subject in this video. So if you go up here, you can see the before and after, and that's with the curves. You have your scopes right down here. We can then adjust highlights as well. And the highlights there, saturation, bring it up. We'll go right over here. We have the shadows, bring shadows down just a tad. And I am going to bring the highlights up a little bit more. And then you got color boost. It's very sensitive. And then detail right here. So we can crank this up if you want, a little bit more detail on there. And then we've got the contrast. And then just go to edit. We'll hit spacebar to play it. It's nice. The other thing is you can mask too, so you can go over here and you can mask out objects. You can make it more 3D without even going into Fusion. You can do that. And again, we'll address that more in later videos when we go into details, but this is an overview. So again, I don't do media. I don't do cut. I go right into the edit. I'll skip and I'll go from edit once everything is cut and edited. So you just do it the same as if you were going to do through Premiere Pro. So you just bring in your clips. Here I'm just going to unlink them, get rid of the audio on that. I go from edit to color, Fusion if I have to do any kind of special effects. Fairlight is going to be the audio version of this. So let's go right into our edit. So when you come into Fairlight, that's specifically for sound. It's kind of like the Adobe Audition, but this is the version for DaVinci Resolve Studio. And you can affect the gain right away here. And even under the edit, you could do that as well. So if I'm right here in the edit, I can check it out and see where I'm falling in with those peaks. And then you've got the special effects when it comes to audio. You can apply those. You can work with the curves and the dynamics. There's so much you can do and you don't have to pay extra. The last thing after you've done all your edits, so again, I'm going to start from the beginning. Start with edit, go to color, go back to Fusion, do any kind of audio tweaking you need to do, and then delivery. So instead of having to export it to Adobe Media like you do in Adobe, and it's a different software, this is right inside of DaVinci Resolve. And you just go in, name it, put it in a location. If you want to use MP4, and then the codec and the frames per second. So if I were to do this, hit add render, then it shows up right over here, and then you hit render all and it'll come out. And this does render a lot faster than it does in Premiere Pro. So this is why I call it the candy shop. I mean, everything is where you want it. You could just grab it, gobble it up, eat it, yum, 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 and you go into your diabetic coma. So everything you need under the edit, everything you need under color grading, there's just so much you can do. I liked Premiere Pro, and then I realized that I was a slave when I found out that there's DaVinci Resolve, and there's so much freedom you could do inside of this candy shop. So it is amazing software. Download the free version of it, play around with it, and if you want to do a little bit more, then I would say it's worth the $295 to get the studio version and do everything. What do you think of the layout of DaVinci Resolve Studio compared to, say, Premiere Pro? Is it something you can work with? For me, it is simpler, easier. I love that everything is in one software. I don't have to go to After Effects. I don't have to go to Audition. It's all one. It's so simple. The candy is all in one place. Not the sweatshop, right? So let me know what you think in the comments below. The next video, we're gonna tackle some other parts. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video. So Till next time, I am Jared with VisibleTour.com. I'll see you in the next video.